Welcome to Salsidoparanormal. I'm your host, James Salcido, and tonight I'm continuing my series on haunted places in the U.S. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media, ways to listen, and ways to support the show at the website, and that is salsidoparanormal.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.com. And there are many ways to support the show. You can always share the show with others and rate and review it on your favorite podcast platforms. That would really be appreciated. I would love to get the show out to more and more people. So, also, you can sign up for the Patreon feed and get extra content there whenever I'm able to put it out. And for as little as $1 a month, you can also check out the merchandise store that has all kinds of shirts and other items with designs on them made by friends of the show. And support is never expected but always appreciated, as there are expenses in making these shows. Um, and Also, please follow friends of the show. That would be Jen, the Arcane Observer, who has her own channel and is the co host of this show on Saturdays whenever possible. It hasn't worked out lately, but I know she'll be back again when she is able. And of course, who knows when the show will come out, so maybe by the time it comes out, she will be back already. We'll see. But also Michael Strange of Trouble Minds Radio and the Trouble Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting, where you can hear all kinds of amazing shows, as well as my own 24/7 online for free. So, also, as always, with this series of shows, um, I I have a summary that I read for these locations, and then I include a couple of links about the location in every episode description. Please, if you are considering or if you think you want to visit a location, uh, do your own research online to make sure it is okay and it is allowed to be visited. I do not recommend trespassing for all kinds of reasons. And again, this is not a comprehensive list of places in the U.S. and just a handful in each state, and that's how we do this, just to get a sample of locations in each of the states. Yes, there we go. In the chat there, Sweets has a no trespassing sign. There we go. Also, please join the Discord because that's where you can listen in live to these recordings, and you can chat with others here in the text channel, and then when I do call in shows, you can join me on the show if you're on Discord. So definitely recommend checking it out there as well. So, because a lot of times I record these shows um, weeks before they even come out, with a lot of the shows in this series and in the Charles Fort book reading and review series. These shows get recorded and then they don't come out right away. It's days or weeks before they come out. So if you want the shows pretty much as soon as they are recorded, while they're being recorded, Discord is the only way to do that, to get to listen to those shows live. So um, anyway, just something to keep in mind. And it takes a little while to get used to Discord. It took me a little while, but once you do, it's an amazing program overall. And once you join the server, of course, if you have questions, a lot of people um, are around, and I'm sure that we can all help each other out with figuring things out as needed whenever possible. So we are still in Illinois with locations here, and so we are on the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet. And so this is it's renowned both for its lavish architecture and long-standing reputation as a haunted site with numerous reports of paranormal activity. History of the theater. The theater was constructed by the Rubens brothers and opened its doors on May 24th, 1926, as a vaudeville movie palace. Designed in an opulent blend of Italian Renaissance, Greek, Roman, Byzantine, Rococo, Venetian, and Baroque styles, that's quite a mix, by famed architects C.W. and George L. Rapp of Chicago. The Rialto was intended to be a palace for the people. Its luxurious rotunda, inspired by the Pantheon in Rome, and inner lobby, modeled after uh, Versailles Hall of Mirrors, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, feature a grand chandelier, ornate plaster work, and lavish decor. The Rialto has been a focal point for stage productions, concerts, ballet, opera, and movie screenings, hosting notable celebrities including Liberace. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I apologize. Andy Williams, and even Al Capone. Uh, After facing demolition in the mid 1970s, the theater was rescued, restored, and now serves as a major performing arts venue in downtown Joliet. Paranormal activity and hauntings. One of the most frequently mentioned spirits is Vivian, believed to be a former vaudeville performer. Her presence is most often reported in the star's dressing room, where investigators have experienced sudden temperature drops, the scent of vintage perfume, and a sense of being watched. Electronic voice phenomenon (EVP) sessions have captured whispers of Vivian expressing affection for the theater. Another well-known ghost is Colin, a 4-year-old boy who is said to have died in or near the theater under mysterious circumstances. I just heard a thump, but I can't tell where it came from. That's all right. Colin's spirit is described as mischievous. He tugs on guests' clothing, pulls uh, pulls hair. That's not very nice, and is blamed for objects moving without explanation. Origin legends suggest he may have been struck by a car and sought refuge in the theater, though documentation is thin. Uh, the woman in white, the bride. Apparitions of a woman in white, or the bride, are commonly spotted on staircases and during wedding receptions. She is always described as wearing a white dress and is associated with the back staircase, where her ghostly figure is often witnessed by both staff and guests. Uh, Several reports describe a man and a woman in period clothing seen in the balcony. Legends suggest they fell to their deaths in the theater's past. That's sad. Other activity. Patrons and staff frequently report seats moving by themselves, dark shadows in hallways, doors opening and closing, and unexplained sounds backstage and in the rotunda. Paranormal investigations, including televised episodes of Ghost Hunters, the TV series, captured apparitions on balcony cameras, disembodied voices, and objects being moved by unseen forces. Keep in mind, those are TV shows, so just keep that in mind. Visitor experiences. The Rialto holds regular paranormal history tours, highlighting its haunted hotspots, including the Rotunda, Espionade, I'm not sure, and dressing rooms. Public investigations and stories from staff and guests underscore the theater's ongoing legacy as a site where both glamour and ghostly legend converge. So that's the end of that one. And yeah, just another example of a theater that has seems to be active in a lot of ways. We have another cemetery here, another one I've heard about and seen on different TV shows. Some of those older TV shows I talked about in the previous episode, where they just share the stories. They're not investigation shows, reality investigation shows. Anyway, Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois. It's famed not only as a major Catholic burial ground, but also as the epicenter of one of Chicago's most enduring paranormal legends, Resurrection Mary, the hitchhiking ghost. History of Resurrection Cemetery. The cemetery was consecrated in 1904, built to serve the growing Polish Catholic community southwest of Chicago. Its establishment fueled uh, local growth as families and businesses gathered near the cemetery to visit loved ones, making it a landmark of the Justice area. Resurrection Cemetery is now one of the largest cemeteries in the region, notable also for its modern mausoleum, which boasts the world's largest stained glass installation in its 1960s era building. The Legend of Resurrection Mary. Resurrection Mary is Chicago's most famous ghost and an archetype of the vanishing hitchhiker story. Since the 1930s, dozens of witnesses have reported picking up a young woman in a white party dress along Archer Avenue, especially between the Willowbrook Ballroom and Resurrection Cemetery. She is said to quietly request a ride. As drivers approach the cemetery, Mary asks to be let out and then mysteriously vanishes, sometimes walking through the locked gates. The legend is said to originate from a real tragedy. Mary was a young woman who went dancing at the O. Henry, later the Willowbrook, ballroom. After an argument, she walked up Archer Avenue, where she was killed by a hit-and-run driver. Her grief-stricken parents buried her at Resurrection Cemetery in her dancing dress and shoes. The driver was never found. Hauntings and paranormal phenomena. Sightings of Mary have been reported by dozens of drivers, cab drivers, police officers, and local residents since the 1930s. Some encounters include burned handprints on the cemetery gate's iron bars, where Mary is said to have gripped them before vanishing. The cemetery is also the site of glowing apparitions, unexplained cold spots, and disembodied voices near the gates and among the gravestones. Local law enforcement, as well as ghost hunters, have investigated reports, including pedestrians in white appearing suddenly in the road and disappearing, as well as mysterious injuries or marks left on vehicles and gates. Resurrection Mary's legend is so prevalent that she's appeared in books, documentaries, Unsolved Mysteries, the original TV show, and remains a favorite subject of local ghost tours and folklore. So that's fascinating. When you have this one apparition, one type of apparition that is just becomes so well known that it's around for decades. And yeah, I have heard of and seen that location on like I said, some of those earlier TV shows. Moving on to the next location here. Let's see how many we have left in this state. See if I can maybe finish it off. Yeah, we only have 2 locations left here, I think. So, let's see. I just have to. I scrolled too far. There we go. Next is the McPike Mansion in Alton, Illinois. The McPike Mansion is a historic Italianate Victorian home built in 1869 by architect Lucas Pfeifenberger. Uh, not sure if I'm saying that right. For Henry Guest McPike, a local businessman, inventor, and 2-time mayor of Alton. McPike was also an accomplished horticulturist who cultivated rare grapes on the mansion's 15-acre estate, known as Mount Lookout Park. The home boasted 16 rooms, a basement, a vaulted wine cellar, and was adorned with features like 11 marble fireplaces and intricately carved banisters. After McPike's death in 1910, the mansion served as the home of Brown's Business College, and later as a boarding house under Paul Lechinger, who is rumored to linger as a ghost on the property. The mansion fell into abandonment during the 1950s, suffering severe deterioration caused by weather, vandalism, and the theft of many original architectural details. Despite being listed on the National Register of Historic Places since 1980, the mansion remained in disrepair until Sharon and George Loudke purchased purchased it in 1994, launching an ongoing restoration effort supported by donations and proceeds from guided tours. The mansion has long been considered one of the most haunted places in Illinois. Reports of paranormal activity include apparitions of Henry McPike, uh, his wife Mary, his mother Lydia, and other family members, as well as the spirit of Paul Lechinger. Visitors recount unexplained footsteps, laughter, objects moving on their own, faces appearing in windows, and mysterious uh, scents like lilac perfume. Uh, and Jenny McPike's daughter-in-law is sometimes described as a trickster spirit who playfully tugs at guests' hair or touches their ear. The mansion features regularly in haunted Alton tours and has appeared on several paranormal television shows, drawing enthusiasts and investigators from all over. So that's the end of that summary there. And yeah, so that's sounds like an active site for a long time there. We have one more location here. I think we have just enough time to cover. This is another kind of location that comes up a lot as being a potential for a good candidate, basically in a way, for paranormal activity to happen because of the terrible things that happen in these kinds of locations, and that is prisons and jails. The old Joliet prison. It's a historic penitentiary that opened in 1858. Was built primarily with limestone quarried on site by prisoners. Limestone is again said to be a good conductor or holder of energy, which can then be used in paranormal activity. It was constructed to replace the earlier state penitentiary in Alton, which had become notorious for its poor, inhumane conditions. The first inmates played a pivotal role in building the Joliet facility itself, which quickly gained recognition for its imposing architecture and rapidly growing inmate population. So it sounds like it became what it was meant to fix in a way, unfortunately. Throughout its history, the old Joliet prison became infamous for severe overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, violence, and labor exploitation. Both male and female prisoners were housed there, with women eventually moved to a dedicated facility across the street in 1896. Despite early hopes, the prison faced repeated criticism and calls for reform, and after the construction of Stateville Penitentiary in 1926, was supposed to close but continued operating until 2002. When it was finally decommissioned due to um, budget cuts, the prison was left vulnerable to vandalism and arson until recent preservation efforts and public tours revived interest. In 2023, it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. The old Joliet prison has developed a reputation for hauntings and paranormal activity, earning a place among Illinois' most famously haunted locations. Visitors and staff have reported apparitions, unexplained voices, cold spots, and feelings of unease throughout the prison grounds. There are frequent accounts of shadowy figures in the cell blocks, disembodied footsteps, faces in the windows, ghostly laughter, and doors slamming on their own. Notable haunted areas include solitary confinement, the women's cell block, and the chapel. Paranormal investigators often highlight its violent history, uh, murders, and another unrest among the inmates as explanations for the lingering uneasy presences in many areas. Public interest in the prison and the haunted reputation has grown, and ghost tours, overnight paranormal events, and media features continue to bring visitors hoping to catch a glimpse of its chilling legacy. That's where that one ends. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of activity there, and doesn't surprise me. Again, this is one of those other types of locations that whenever you have people that are coming and going and staying for extended periods of time, and then in some cases dying in these locations, it seems like it's eventually reports pop up of there being paranormal activity there. So, so yeah, we're actually done with Illinois, and next time we'll be moving on to Indiana. And hope you all are enjoying this series. It's does have its dark points, as is the case with a lot of the sources of paranormal activity in locations, as far as reports go. And it's not always that doesn't always have to be the cause of paranormal activity, but it does happen, and especially in situations like prisons and hospitals and things. So, thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all next time on Salsido Paranormal. Take care.